Well, we're still talking about joy. Once again, we have a thunderstorm in Minnesota. I love summer storms. But you know, the same storm that I love, I sometimes run outside in the thunder and lightning. I know, maybe it's not the smartest thing to do, but it feels so good when it's been dry for a long time. But that same storm that I love has my old dog just cowering and shivering like you wouldn't believe. I think that's a metaphor for so many things that different people might react to exactly the same stimulus with such different responses. I want to talk today a little bit about choosing a joyful response. So my father died and I got a little bit of money and I was excited about it, and I decided to buy a new car. I have an old car with about 140,000 miles on it, and I have a 16-year-old, and those two seem to go together. And I have never bought a new car in my life. And I just thought, wouldn't it be great to buy a new car? So I spent a lot of time studying different kinds of cars, and the truth is, what makes me really happy is good gas mileage. I mean, that is just a fact. I'm cheap, and my cheapness is a source of great joy for me. So of course, I went for a hybrid, and I got just the same car that I got. My old one is an old Prius, and now I have a brand new Prius. And so I got it, and I felt happy about it, and almost immediately after I got it, I started having really intense leg pains, really intense calf pains. So I went to a chiropractor, and she said, you know, I think the way that your seat is and the way that you're in your new car is making your hips move in such a way that it's kind of inflaming your sciatic nerve, and I think that you need to put a pillow on your seat and keep trying. And so I put a pillow on, and that helped some, but the truth is that car and leg pain are very linked in my mind. And so almost unconsciously, I start to tell myself this story. I shouldn't have bought that car. Not only should I not have bought that car, but my dad, were he alive, would be very upset that I bought that car. He would not have wanted me to buy that car. He would have wanted me to do something more responsible with that money, like put it into a retirement account. And all of a sudden, I've gone from completely loving and enjoying my car to kind of thinking of it as a mistake, something I did wrong, something I did badly, something that I'm being punished for because I have leg pain. And I'm making up this whole story because my dad's dead. I don't know what he would think about this car. And so I'm talking to a friend of mine about this, and my friend is psychic. She's a very psychic person, and she says, well, tell me your dad's name and I'll see if I can find him. And I am always open for anything. I said, sure. So I told her his name, and she said, oh, your dad is so happy. Your dad's energy reminds me of this character on Sesame Street. Do you watch Sesame Street? And I said, not lately, no. Well, she has grandchildren. She said there's a little fairy called Abby Cadabby who just flies around very, very happily all the time, and that's what your dad's energy's like. And I thought about my dad, this very hyper-rational, kind of morose, gloomy physicist, and I said, I don't know whose spirit you're in contact with, but I am here to guarantee it is not my father's. She said, no, it absolutely is. She said, he keeps coming and pinching your cheek and saying, the purpose of life is joy, the purpose of life is joy. And I said, that is not my father, let me tell you. The purpose of his life was not joy. She said, I know it wasn't, and that's why he wants to be sure that you know that he got it wrong. But the purpose of life is joy, and she said he wants you to know that. He keeps saying, Maggie, the purpose of life is joy. And I said, he never called me Maggie. She said, well, he is now. So I listened to this, and I thought, this is the most far-fetched thing anybody's ever told me. And so I went home, and I was telling someone else about it. And then I thought to myself, okay, I've made up a story that makes me miserable. I've made up a story that says my father wants my legs to hurt even after death. It's at least as crazy as my father flying around like a little fairy, Abby Cadabby. And I thought to myself, this story, that story. I'm going to choose to have my dad buzzing around the world like a fairy. Why not? It's more fun. It's more joyful. It brings more joy. I'm not saying that parts of me when my legs hurt don't go, well, see, you can tell that story, but this is true. The fact of the matter is we have pain in our lives. Our legs hurt, our hearts hurt, our spirits hurt, our minds hurt. That's life. What story we choose to tell will say how we use the pain in our lives to move forward, to find healing, to find liberation. So for me, my leg pain is saying, this is the pain of loss. This is the pain of the family system you need to let go of. This leg pain is a gift to you. Your body's insisting you pay attention, and you're going to free yourself and you're going to feel better than ever. That's how we choose stories. It's an existential choice. It's a choice for happiness. I make it every day, and I hope you do too. I'd love to hear how you reframe situations that are hard for you to create more joy.